What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Enterbay Shaquille O'Neal, and if you want to order this figure, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below, although I do think this is sold out, but they do offer other Enterbay figures as well. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. I'd rather get the figure from them than Enterbay itself. It's just customer service is just night and day. So yeah, I'll put the link down below if you are interested. So let's take a look at the box. This is double box basically, and this is one of those network exclusive. So you can see here, but yeah, this is Shaquille O'Neal. I do have the Shaq version before, like the 2-0 pack. I did sell it. I didn't, and I didn't have any thought of I wanted a Shaquille O'Neal again, because at that point I was just like, you know what, I have too much figures, and this is like limited to 300 pieces really, and so I sold it, but I never thought it would leave a hole in my collection. I was just like, I do want the Shaq again, so I purchased this for you know, a decent price. It's a bit really expensive, more expensive than what I bought the dual pack back then, because the dual pack was like $375, and there's 2 figures. This is $300 by just one. So in reality, this is more expensive, you know, in a sense, because you only get one. You'd rather get 2 basically, but I really do want to review this figure as well. So, you know, jumped on it, and you can see here there's not a whole lot of accessories, and you know why? This is the 1997 version of Shaq, or 98, I think 97. So you can see the logo here. You got, as usual, the bendy stand where you have the clamps on the waist, where you can't even clamp it on Shaq's waist because his waist is massive. I do believe that the body is a bit wrong per se in this version, because on 97 Shaq is still pretty slim. You know, he's not really slim, but not as big as he was back in the 2000s. So as far as accessories, he comes with like array of hands: the rim holding hand, pointy hand, and this is supposed to be the follow through hand, although Shaq is not really known for doing jump shots, so you don't really need this per se, but it's there. You can do the Shaq attack post that he normally does using this hand, and as you can see here, nicely built. It has this soft rubber that it comes with. I love it from Enterbay, and it comes with the magnetic ball with the Adam Silver signature on it, which is wrong because it's supposed to be the other commissioner still. I forgot his name, but yeah, Adam Silver took over, you know, later on. But in '97, it's still David Stern. There you go, David Stern. And this is the exclusive version where you do have a practice jersey, which is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. And the practice jersey and the underneath jersey as well, and you see here Shaquille O'Neal right there with the nice logo on it. It's gold now compared to the silver one when I bought the Kobe 2-pack back in the day, and you can see the waist clamp with the bendable stand right there. Now, as far as the body, like I was mentioning earlier, this is 97 Shaq. So he does not have some of the tattoos yet. Typical body from Enterbay. But as I mentioned, he got this big waist where in 97 he wasn't that out of shape yet. This feels like a Miami Heat Shaq. But as far as the jersey, it is an improvement from, if you watch my older videos with, you know, all that, you'll see that they're printed. Well, this is different. You know, kind of like the logo itself is kind of pressed on, but the trimming on the side is nicely done. And as you can see, if you notice something different, it's the sweat technology, which is weird because he doesn't have it on his hands or his feet. Just the arms and the face. So apparently half of his body does not sweat. And you can see the Shaq shoes that he does have here. It's not even I think the Hypnosis was when he was in Orlando, but this is the Shaq from Reebok, all branded, by the way. Unsightly knee, you see the knees in there because it's double jointed. The jersey itself looks good, a lot better. I do like the sweat technology if it was applied a little bit more throughout the figure and not just the upper half. I get it, you're just gonna look at the arms, basically the neck area and all that stuff, but you would love some consistent. I mean, would it really hurt to put it on the hands as well? You know, I mean, I guess not. But yeah, the hands looks a little bit out of place because they are just rubber, and going down to the knees, and his lower body does not sweat. It does not have any sweat glands whatsoever. And the head sculpt. Let's talk about the head sculpt, because this is really talked about, I guess, in the Enterbay community, because they're saying it looks like J.R. Ryder or Zebo. And I get it, it doesn't look the Shaq that we know of, but you gotta remember the picture that I showed you is a 97 Shaq. So this is based off 1997 Shaquille O'Neal. He looks a bit different back then, a little bit slimmer, and it's not 100%. There's some angles like this one, I would say, that looks pretty good. Again, I do like this sweat in the figures, and not everyone does have this. I think the Kevin Durant and Steph Curry does not have this as well. But on the shelf, I don't know how it's transmitting to the camera right now, but it's a bit shiny. It reflects light. You can see it here. But it gives it a unique look, in my opinion. Again, I wish they would have I wish they would have applied this in overall figure, but I like it, because especially if they're not smiling. I mean, you don't have to apply it like in a Kobe Bryant where he does have the smiling sculpt. I guess you could. Maybe that's after a game or something. But for the most part, you want to display these guys on an action pose. And what better way to do it than, you know, with them looking at them like all sweaty. That's kind of how you envision them anyway, playing the game. So it is a good thing that they did. Although I think the Kobe Bryant was the last time they did this on to. They didn't do it with Steph or KD. So yeah, something to think about if you're Enterbay and you want to continue your line, because I know they announced some pretty good figures like Giannis and Luka. This might be something that they should consider moving forward, because I do like the feature. But as far as the head sculpt, I am not that upset with it. Articulation wise, something that you would expect from a regular Enterbay figure, not a whole lot, honestly. You have single jointed elbow. They're really tight, so you gotta be careful a little bit. You know, on the elbows here, you might lift it up, but as you can see, I am struggling here. I did it behind the camera, but you have to kind of warm it up. The elbows, I already broke one back in the day with my Blake Griffin, so they could break. And the knees are double jointed. You got ankle articulation, and the good news is when you buy the figure, the shoes are already inserted. You see here, you gotta be careful. You gotta hold it on both areas where the joint kind of meets. So this one is a bit easier, but I'm telling you, I'm a bit more careful with what I'm doing right now, because I already broke one, and I know it could happen. Those tight joints, you just gotta take your time. You know, you got some bend on the abdominal area there, but he's a big boy. This Shaq is a massive figure. Now we're putting him in some poses here before we wrap this thing up. Here he is being guarded by Dennis Rodman. I was a Bulls fan, so I still am, as a matter of fact. And I remember their battles, and Rodman is giving up a good, 6 inches, maybe 5 or 6 against Shaq. Shaq is technically 7'2", and Rodman, I think, is advertised as 6'7", but he's more like 6'6", 6'5". But yeah, he can guard Shaq. Rodman is one of the best defenders of all time, if not the best. So that's always a good matchup to have. And here he is shooting his free throw, as you can see there, one-handed. His biggest weakness by far is the free throws, but you know, you can kind of recreate it here. The ball is magnetized for those who doesn't have any Enterbay figures yet, and you can see, like, when he's spinning, the sweat effect really stands out here. It's shiny. I like it. I really like it a lot. And this is the exclusive version where he does have the practice jersey and the white t-shirt underneath, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it does look pretty good here. Just do the one spin here, and I do have all the 3 Lakers great now. Just Kobe, him, and LeBron. You know, all in the yellow jersey, because if you have the Shaq 2-pack, you would get the purple jersey Shaq. And as you can see here with Kobe and Shaq, that looks pretty good because they're wearing both yellow jersey. Although Kobe's jersey is a bit different in my opinion. You know, there's subtle differences in there. Not huge, but you can kind of tell that it's some years apart here. But the Kobe Bryant, I think the number 8, 90, I think this was 97, like I mentioned earlier. I think he got the fro, so it is kind of accurate in that sense. And Shaq's not smiling, you know, that's a big plus, because on the 2-pack he has the smiling face for the Lakers. So final thoughts on this figure. I know this is a bit controversial. A lot of people did not like the head sculpt, but I showed you, if you want to go back to the head sculpt, that was his face back in 97. So he you know, his face kind of varies because he gained weight, lost weight, and all that stuff. I think overall it's still a pretty solid figure. Is it overpriced? We can make an argument that every Enterbay release is overpriced nowadays. They don't come with 2 head sculpts anymore. This is all they come with. And if you don't get the exclusive version, you don't even have the practice jersey. So basically, and plus he has not won anything yet in 97. No championships, no MVPs, nothing like that. So he has no accolades yet. So in that sense, yes, you're not getting a whole lot here. What you're getting is a very good looking figure, but now you got to decide for yourself if this is worth $300. I'm a huge basketball fan, also fan of Shaq, but a basketball fan in general. I appreciate the game of basketball. So to me, I would rather have this than, let's say, a Hot Toys figure. However, I can totally understand if somebody picks up, at 300, you're gonna have a pretty good Hot Toys, right? Like a character that has layers of clothing, who has more accessories than this, sometimes even a second head sculpt. And I can totally get that argument. And in that sense, then yes, that is a lot better in terms of value, what you're getting for your 300. But if you're a fan, you know, go for it. Then again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.